Let's get this figured out. This world gon' give me whatever I need until I get this vision out. Then they gon' pay me whatever I ask, cause I got it figured out. Family be checking all up on a nigga to see how I'm feeling now. Damn, they love to see a nigga really make a killing now. I put a lock on the game and I hide the code and the keys. I am not playing no games, I really play this shit for keeps. That shit for me.
MaddenHeadz YouTube. What's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video. And today I figured we'd talk a little defense. Just talk about a few of the things, that you're able to do now defensively, that can help help you get stops, get off the field. Just some stuff in my opinion. First things first, you have to learn how to manually press, and however you decide to do that. One way is the L1 or LB button. A lot of people do that. I have a different way of doing it, but you have to learn how to manually press. Therefore, you can start taking away some of the slot routes, especially those zigs and returns and all that stuff. You can throw off the timing of those routes, then they become a lot less effective. It big time. And so you have to start learning how to disrupt the timing of the offense. Just learn how to play with it a little bit, while you're tinkering with your defenses, and learn, which guys you probably can play, have the best bump and run or whatever. And then another thing you have to learn how to do is fellas, you have to start playing more hybrid defenses. Stop just coming out in the defense that you call and standing there, and then they snap the ball and then nothing happens. They just pick you apart, and you're like, man, the defense on Madden sucks. I mean, your defense sucks because you're not moving anybody. You're not doing anything. You're not calling any different. You're not adding anything to the defenses that you're calling. And so when I say hybrid, that means whether you're calling a straight man defense, and then you're adding zones to it by the edge guys, or if you're calling a zone defense and then manning up some guys. But I mean, you see the effectiveness of just being able to press the point guy, or press the inside slot guy, or the hot read, as I call it. Once you're able to take that guy away, then your pressure actually becomes a little bit better, because now the quarterback's reading, before just throwing. And so another thing you have to learn how to do, you have to learn how to toggle. And by toggling, that means using L2 and R2, when you're controlling your user on defense. You have to be able to toggle. So you see, like right there where I was able to just kind of leave my man alone, and then kind of hang out a little bit just to make sure that the crosser guy was covered, and he threw the ball right to me. Another thing, especially like right here, watch this. Learn manually move some guys on defense. Learn how to disguise your defenses. So maybe like show blitz, move a couple of guys around manually, maybe some linebackers, your safeties or whatever. I do this with my safeties all the time. And then you can audible back into the original defense. Maybe it's just a cover 2 man that you want to audible back to, whatever you have in your audibles. But it's going to give your defense a little bit of disguise. It's going to make the offensive guy think that they can just kind of throw the ball down the field, when you give them certain looks. But, you've audibled back to a cover 2 just because you've moved some guys, and then you show blitz. And so the show blitz thing, I'm telling you, show blitz is really good, because even let's say if you are playing press man coverage, when you show blitz, if you show blitz and play over the top, generally your guys won't get beat as much. I'm not going to say they won't get beat, but they won't get beat as much. And so you just have to be able to kind of decipher, when you need to do it and when not to. Switch sticking. Yeah. And so watch me just right here, manual press on Bates, switch stick to Woolen, was able to press that receiver as well and play the route. All in the same play. Yeah. And so there's just another level to it. If you can get the manual press thing down and your switch stick down, man, I'm talking about you're able to affect the defense. I mean, you're able to affect the offense in different places because you're able to take away, in a lot of cases, the first and second read, and then forcing the quarterback to go further down the field where, you have guys who, are ready to react to, certain passes and have the deep KOs and all this stuff and acrobats and all that stuff like like Randy does right there. That was a crazy click on catch right there. I mean, interception. But the press thing, I'm telling you, just being able to stay in proximity. You want to go a little bit deeper? Yeah, go get your turn in your mechanics Bible, and if you have one, go go back and look at the defensive clock in technique video, and just kind of go back over your fundamentals with your defensive clock in technique, because that's what that is right there. I laugh when I hear people say the flats don't play, the flats don't play right or whatever, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, in some cases, but yeah, if you on your defensive clock in technique, man, my flats play great. Actually, they play better than usual because they kind of get a little bit of depth, and then they're able to, come downhill, and jump in front of those routes or those little intermediate to short routes that they're trying to cover anyway. Yeah, it just like you just saw on the previous play, like you've got to start using your zone drops. Like I'm just not a big match person. I know some people live by match. I cannot. It just does not work for me. But for me, the consistency of knowing, okay, if I have the curl flats and the curl flats are dropped at this amount of yardage and the flats are dropped at this amount of yardage, then I know where they are. I know where those players are supposed to be. And so therefore, it gives me less to worry about as a user, where I can stay more focused on, the middle of the field and the routes that I'm trying to take away, because I know the guys that I have over there in the flats are actually going to react, and they're in the right spots. Watch this double jam right there. Bumped him with Moss and Simmons, and he's still, I don't know if he hit the wrong button or whatever, but that was not the read right there, because he wasn't open at any point. He never even got off the line, basically. But yeah, I'm telling you, this is the fun I have playing the game. Like doing this kind of stuff right here, man, this is the thrill. And so, again, I show blitz, but I'm gonna play over the top with everybody else, but I'm gonna go and jam, that most inside receiver or that hot receiver I think that, the quarterback may be trying to go to myself, and it's all gonna look the same because the quarterback's gonna either start paying attention to the pressure that's coming, or how his receiver is getting pressed, and if he gets off the press, and he has to be ready to throw the ball fairly quickly. But as you see in that case, it just did not work out. Anyway, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It is your boy Coach. I'm out.